Do I have 2 ring lights? Of course I do. Of course I do. Woo! I don't know what it is about a goose, but she's cute. Primrose. Primmy. This is my second video, and I want to thank you so much for all of the responses that I got for the first video. It has been so much fun following all of your comments, really taking in your recommendations, your suggestions, since I am so new to stitching. I am learning a lot, and I love watching all of your videos and checking out what you're stitching and pulling from your ideas as well. So thank you so much for all the welcomes. Thank you for subscribing. That made me feel like, I don't know, I have support. I can't explain it. It's just like a little bit of a sense of belonging. It's really nice, and I really appreciate everyone who enjoyed my video, who let me know about it, who liked my video, who subscribed to watch how my progress is going, and I can't wait for you to see what is happening. And it is late, so it is, what day is it? It is the 14th of March, and it is past my bedtime because my nighttime routine alarm went off on my phone, but that's okay. I can't seem to really settle into a schedule of making a video. I kept saying, oh, I gotta go make one, and then, you get a headache, you go to bed early, after work activities, things like that. So I thought, now or never, doesn't matter what I look like, which is what I love about this community. We're not here to impress anyone. We're here to share our likes and get together as like-minded crafty folk. So, now or never. Am I right? Episode number 2. The other reason why I wanted to make a video right away was because I'm ready to do different things with these projects, and I'll show you what I mean, but I can't until I actually show you the progress that I've made. That'll make sense later. It does not make sense right now. So thank you so much for joining me. Episode number 2 of Flosstube, Needlework Novice. I have whips that include 2 starts. I have haul from 1, 2, 3 stitch. And then I wanted to go over some things that I keep in my bag. It's not often that we talk about our notions, or it's not often that I see the notions, like the everyday products that you use when you go to grab your stitching bag. I'd like to go over what I have. I would love to see some of your recommendations for those products. Maybe see what I'm missing out on, or what other recommendations you have from what I am using. So I'd like to do that, and then hopefully come back and just continue to progress. So let's do whip. I'll do the whip that you've seen, and then I'll show you my 2 starts. The whip that you have seen from last video, which was just over 2 weeks ago, was from Cross Stitch for the Heart, Emma Congdon. In the back of the book, there is, I'm calling it Queen of Hearts. It doesn't really have a title, but it makes sense when you see it. To get my face out so you can focus. Queen of Hearts, she's a big one. And I am so impressed. The last time you saw that, I'm gonna see if I can put some type of clip from the progress last time. I was at a point where I had to rip out what I had done. I did that. I got courageous, I ripped it out, and then I added more stitches, and this is our progress. Check her out. So regal. So I'm enjoying stitching just the outline. It's making more sense to me. When I started stitching, I was doing like the fill-in color, and I got lost, and I had to rip it out. This is fun, and it's becoming an image to me now that I think I'm going to continue with this color unless it drives me crazy for the entire pattern, and then do all of the fill-in, and that'll be easy, and maybe you can like multitask when you kind of do that sort of work. Here's something really sad. So I've been taking my stitching to work to try to avoid leaving campus on my lunch break, because when I do, I just go shopping. I might just pop into Joann's and absolutely need something. So I'm trying to just stay on campus and stitch and have lunch. if you can see it right here where my thumb is, there's a stain. I'm pretty sure that's spicy mayonnaise. That's okay, I'll wash it. And I have a feeling it's so close to the edge that with a flat fold, it's probably gonna disappear anyway. So I've gotta be really careful and probably not stitch at lunch, or, you know, make sure I'm done with all the food. I'm loving this project. It is still big. It's one that I don't take too seriously of like, oh my gosh, I've gotta finish it. It's just pick it up, work a little bit on it, go wherever the thread takes me. I have absolutely no method to the stitches that I'm working on. And I have no deadline for when I want to finish it, which is really nice. It's just a comfortable stitch. I'm gonna keep that bag there so I can show you what's inside. Okay, 2 starts. I'm calling these sad starts. Cross stitch conundrums, okay? Here's why. First, I'll show you the bag. I made this bag on a whim, without measurements, watched a video, just cut things out and didn't even care. But I made it with Little Mermaid. Pay no attention to the quilting lines. If I move it fast enough, maybe you won't. It's the first time I ever stitched with foam, and it didn't do so well. I don't think I used a walking foot, I can't remember. And next time I'll work on the attachment of the zipper. This one's got a little gap, but I think it's cute and it works. Inside we have the start that I said I was going to do, the start that was going to be in this frame. See that guy? He's still waiting. He's waiting for this project. And I posted a little on my Instagram about it, but I'm at a standstill. I'm not giving up. It will eventually be a restart, but I have to rip all of it out. Here's the pattern. Lady Goose, Mama Witch Stitch. Sorry for the glare. I've got new lights. So I gotta figure out how gorgeous is that. I just want this on my wall so bad. But my decorations aren't very harsh. They're all kind of like this, what we call low volume. They're just simple colored decorations. And so I went with a fabric that was lighter. It was not black. And this is what I stitched. This was my start / whip for the last 2 weeks. This is stitched on Artiste 14 Yorkshire gray. I found at Hobby Lobby. I'm in love with this pattern. I'm even in love with the fabric and how the colors look on the fabric. Here's the problem. I've gotten to the point where I'm putting in that cream color that I said I wasn't worried about. It's here. You can't see that. I started a mushroom. Tell me where the mushroom is. You can't see it, it's right here. And so I'm worried about what it's gonna look like. And I really enjoyed stitching like the floral pieces. And so I'm not gonna have a problem ripping this out, saving the material for something else. I really do need to tape the edges. They frayed quite a bit. Save the material for something else, restitch. I'm gonna put it here. I can't wait. Like, this is just gonna complete this little space and I'm excited. Okay, do you have that thing where you work on a project while you're watching, let's say, a movie or a show, and you pick it back up and you immediately think about that movie? I was watching Pretty Woman when I stitched this, and as soon as I picked it up, I started thinking about Julia Roberts. I know I'm not the only one. So status for that's not technically a whip. There's a dog behind me and she's poking the crud out of me. Did you just hear her sigh? So this is still, I don't know if you consider it a whip. It's getting put aside. I still haven't purchased fabric. I went to a couple of stores in person, but I think I'm just gonna have to purchase some online. But it's gonna get done. Absolutely. Okay, second start. I'm hoping to make this a quick video, who knows? Second start is, drum roll, my Autumn Quaker. I couldn't wait. I loved it. I don't care what time of year it is. This is still a gorgeous pattern. Autumn Quaker, Primrose Cottage. You've all seen it. You know it. I'm in love with it. I finally got my threads, floss, at from 123 Stitch. This is, it says the Gentle Art Simply Shaker Pumpkin Pie. Come on. Come on. Gorgeous, and it's tonal. So pretty. Will you focus, please? Look at all those different colors. You can see it better back here anyway. Love it. And I think that's what's helping me or making me also want to stitch this even more, just the color itself. And it's so easy. You don't have to switch colors. You just go, 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 right? And so I was just going. Here's that progress. Isn't it pretty? I started with the bigger motif, added this guy. Got up here, worked down through the pumpkin. Pumpkin was a lot of fun. I hope you saw that. You can see it back here too. Look how pretty that is. I love this. Guess what? I gotta rip out all this. All of this gets ripped out. I'm off count again. So I got mad at it. I didn't get mad. I was disappointed. And I thought, oh, they're gonna love this on Flosstube. Oh, isn't this just something I would do? Miscount, have to rip out. So that's 2 projects that I get to rip out. But I'm gonna keep going on this one because I think it's just gorgeous. Does this mean that I will also be stitching the other patterns within this series? Yeah, I think so. I think this got me. I think this would look really cute as a pillow. Not necessarily the mini pillow the size of the project. I'm thinking of like quilting it, adding some quilting cottons, make it a bigger pillow for this chair. This chair needs some pizzazz. All right, so I am quilting this on the called for fabric. It is the Mushroom Laguna fabric, 28 count, also the called for floss. It's fun. But now that I've shown you, I get to rip it out. Who smiles when they say that? I don't even know. That's all I have for what I've stitched on. Am I gonna have another start by the time I see you again? Probably. What I wanna show you next is a little bit of haul, and then I wanna go into the materials that I use, the tools that I use. I did get from Fat Quarter Shop the Country Cottage Ornament Pastel collection, Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is the Christmas Church. Oh my gosh, how cute. I'm very much into the pastels, and so I signed up through Fat Quarter Shop to have each release throughout the year. I don't know all of the details. I will definitely put the link. I'm not positive about the release if it's monthly. It makes sense if it's monthly. I am missing the first 2 products, and so I'm gonna go and order those individually. What turned me on to this was last month's release, which was 3 pastel nutcrackers. Caught me. I'm gonna do it. So I love this. I don't know if I'll make ornaments. Who knows what I'm gonna do with them, but the colors are exactly what I decorate with when the holidays come around. So I'm really excited to have that in my stash. Speaking of stash, I showed you a couple patterns last video, my first episode, and I went on 123 Stitch and purchased some fabrics and floss to complete them. So I showed you the Autumn Essentials by Madame Chantilly. Again, autumn is just something that I'm in love with, these colors and these motifs year round. No convincing me otherwise. And I ended up getting the fabric for it. Am I scared of this fabric? Yes. It is a 36 count raw natural Edinburgh linen. When I look at this, I'm a little frightened. So we'll see. Maybe it's something that I wait for. Maybe it's something I get more comfortable with my stitching or counting of my stitching before I choose to work on this, but I'm really excited for that. Inside this bag of floss, these are all DMC flosses. Somewhere in this bag are all of the colors that I need for this pattern. In this bag also I have colors for the Sweet Wing Studio Blessings Overflow. You saw this in my last video. So I've got the floss for this, which is DMC floss, and the fabric. This is all from 123 Stitch. This is a 32 count graceful gray linen. It's really pretty. It's a little stiffer than the mushroom. Not as stiff as an Ada, I wouldn't say. And I can actually see this. 32 count, what's the other one? 36 count. We'll see. Again, I haven't done anything smaller than a 28, so you gotta do something. You gotta learn. This next one and final one I'm really kind of pumped about. I think I showed you this pattern. Maybe not, maybe this just came in with my 123 Stitch. This is Heart and Hand Needle Art, Friendship Garden. It's so pretty. This says, a friend overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers in your garden. No truer words have been said. This one comes with embellishments. Got some seed beads and a button here. I am sure you can complete it without embellishments. I have plans to make multiple. I am well versed in seed beads and buttons, so I can always find replacements for that. But I got the called for floss. These are from Classic Colorworks. And each of the colors requested for the pattern. I hope this is focusing. Oh yeah, I just gotta get my face out of the way. Look at those colors. I think each one of my friends, and I know who they are, that are gonna get one, I think they would appreciate all of these colors. I'm excited for that because I also got the called for fabric. And look how convenient this is, how small it is, perfect for the pattern. This is 32 count vintage country mocha Belfast. Again, I don't know that 32 count. It's smaller than the 28 I love. This is me being nervous. But I got a couple of them so that I can make some for my friends. That, I want to say, concludes the haul. Lots of floss, lots of patterns. Am I already at the point where I've got probably too much to deal with? I don't know. It's subjective, am I right? I've only got 3 widths. I'm doing fine. Let's talk about tools. First, I'm going to take a sip of water. I promise you this is just seltzer water that my dog already spilled while getting in my chair. And I guess I could show you, you could see it. This is Erica Marie. I'll link her work in the video. This is a local artist, and I have a lot of her pieces. This one's gorgeous. Tumbler. I don't know if you call it a tumbler. I think it's like a wine, stemless wine. I drink coffee in it. I drink everything. Right now it's seltzer water. Okay, tools. Here's what I found on 123 Stitch that I am so incredibly excited for. I am a connoisseur of many crafts. Most recently, right before I started cross stitching, I was quilting, which turned into paper piecing, which I have a piece right here. This is gonna be bad. That I paper pieced. Oh, my whole hand. That right there. That I put together with colors of my living room that I love. Paper pieced it. Found a frame at Joann's. So I've done paper piecing. I'm working on a hand quilted quilt. And then I think started my love of hand stitching, that kind of work. And so while I was learning to hand quilt, I have tried so many different needles. I have a little drawer in my spare room where I keep all of my tools full. Every single needle you can think of, it's in there. I promise you, I've got all the sizes. Then you find that one needle that you love, and then you order that one over and over to make sure that you have plenty for all of your different projects. So for paper piecing, it's a tulip needle that I absolutely love, size 10 if anyone's interested. I can always link that below too. And so I kind of started having that attitude when I was cross-stitching. How can I find the right needle? I know that the needle differs depending on the size of fabric you have. I don't know what you call that, the count of fabric that you have, the density of the stitches, the amount of threads that you're going to pull, I have found that it's very important to make sure the eye of the needle is large and that the needle itself is smaller and sharp. And so when I was on 1, 2, 3 stitch, I just decided to click on the needles and kind of scroll through, see what it was. I found this needle and I read the reviews and I was like, cool, I'm going to try it. This is now my love needle. I don't know what you call it, but I am super obsessed. And I mean, I am taking such good care of this pack of needles because I haven't ordered another pack yet. This is the Peacemaker's Tapestry Fine Sewing Needle, size 28. It says push. I don't know. Oh, maybe that's just, oh, you push here. Maybe it's not a name, it's a mechanism. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this needle. I'll try to get rid of my face so you can see it. See, I've already got some missing to my project bags. It is short so that I can utilize as much floss as I can, which I'm that kind of person that just pulls your stitch just tight enough that I can get my needle back into the back of the work and tuck my thread in and end that thread. It is just little. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it because of the way it's focused. It's so great. It is nice and sharp to get into that tighter weave. I can't say anything else about it. It is so great. Okay. What I also like about Peacemakers is on the back of the product. Please tell me you can see that. Yeah. Oh gosh. They're explaining the different type of needles, the size. You can't really see it all that well. Stink. Come on. Anyway, there's a lot of information on the back of this product. Talks about the needles for beading, the betweens, that's for quilting, calico braided rug, chenille, doll making needles, embroidery, hand applique, milliners, sharps, and tapestry. Yeah, tapestry. So it's very educational. It says Country Store Peacemakers. I have found my love needle. Okay, so that is one item that I now make sure that I have with my projects. The next that I have in each of my project bags, and this should be of no surprise, especially after learning about the whips that I have, they are miniature seam rippers, miniature stitch rippers, whatever you want to call them. Quilting world, we call them seam rippers. Love. I found these on Amazon. You can get them pretty much anywhere at a craft store. I found some at Joann's. They were really cute, like they were polka dot, but I think this is a better value, and I'll definitely see about linking whatever I speak about. This says Bead Nova. Seam ripper, stitch eraser, thread cutter, small clothes tag remover, whatever you want to call it. Love them. They fit perfectly in your bag. Let's put it over here. There's your seam ripper. Place it back in the lid. You've got a nice tool to correct all your counting mistakes. We're best friends and also enemies. So that's another tool. I am sitting on my dog's legs. I know it. She's a little sassy. That earthquake was caused by her. Third tool. Snips. Everyone's got snips. I'm in love with scissors. I have snip earrings. I don't know why I'm not wearing them. I have a pair of scissors in every room of my home. And by a pair of scissors in every room, there's probably multiple pair in every room. I've also gotten, especially since I've been quilting and hand quilting, I get the fancy scissors. But when it comes to needing multiples, because I have different projects going and I want to make sure that everything's handy, I'm all about convenience. It's in the bag and ready to go if that's the one I decide to take on my lunch break and not stain. I'll look at Amazon and see if I can find some type of deal, and I did. This was a 3-pack of snips. They are super sharp. They come with their own cover, and their cover is attached. And they're nice and pointed so that I can get in close to your fabric and snip, and I just kind of cover it right back up. Safety reasons. This came in a 3-pack. Again, the others are in my other project bags. So we've got scissors, needles, seam ripper. I found this on other floss tubes, or else I wouldn't have even thought of it. And it really has saved me, and it really has helped with my focus when I'm counting, if you can believe that. It is a book stand. I will also link it. I found this one on Amazon. It's in my favorite color, of course. They have multiple colors. It is collapsible, so you can travel with it. It is really sturdy. It's a great product, and you have different levels that you can angle your book, and then of course clamp your book into it. I've loved it. Sometimes when I'm working, I'll stick my needle minder on it. I'll give you an example. To hold my needles while I'm stitching and reading my pattern. It's nice. Highly recommend. The other thing that I've been utilizing is this magnetic board. I found this at Hobby Lobby. One of those lunchtime purchases, you know, you don't really need, but you could use, and it turns out that I do need it because the magnets are really made, number one, to hold your pattern to the board, but also to keep you in line with the stitches that you're looking at. I used this a lot when I was attempting to stitch elegant lace and my autumn Quaker. I promise I will print working copies from now on and highlight, just like you guys have put in my comments. I'm gonna do it. This is my fault, it's just mine. But anyway, this helps as well. It's nice, travels as well. It slips right into your project bag. Fits into each one that I have. The last thing that I wanted to show, oh, there were two things. I'm sorry. The one thing that I know for sure that I can't stitch without is wax. I purchased this on Amazon back when I started quilting because I do wax my threads when I hand quilt. Keeps them from fraying, helps to avoid knotting. I happen to just get, like, I don't know, in the industrial bag. I guess it's a bag for like crafters that might utilize it for a different, maybe they melt it down. So they're really just bars of wax. It is my intention to melt them down into a more petite piece of wax for my threads. But it is just beeswax, and you can tell that it's completely abused from all of my threads. But I just run the beeswax over my thread once before I start. I will also put a link to that. It has no scent. I guess if it gets warm, it could get a little sticky, which is why I keep it in a bag, and I want to melt it down, maybe put it in something, I'm not sure. That is a must, I've learned. Finally, I was at Michael's, and I meant to show you this earlier. I found some things to help me with my threads on my Queen of Hearts product. Last time that I showed that to you, here's my snips. Last time that I showed that to you, it was on a 3x5 card. It was just something I had to do quickly. That 3x5 card did not last. That thing got shredded up. It was like paper thin anyway. So I was walking through Michael's, and on like an end cap where they have like their card supplies or the scrapbook supplies, was this pack of paper. It's cardstock. Can we get in there? Gorgeous colors. I mean, the colors don't matter, but it's nice and thick, lots of paper. Rip your piece of paper off, and I decided to make, it's a 2x3 inch piece of paper, double-sided. I decided to make my own cards. I put my DMC number on there, and I put the symbol from the pattern on each of the cards. I put a hole punch twice on the bottom, one for a working thread, one for the remainder threads. I'm sorry for the focus, we're gonna work on that. And then a hole on the top because I have these rings that I just keep everything on. And then of course, I added my snips to my rings so I wouldn't lose them. Is anyone else losing their scissors all the time? It's like you set them down and they walk away, I swear. So that is the last thing I purchased as far as tools are concerned. So when I start another project, I have plenty of other paper. It's a 2x3 cardstock piece. Rip it out, punch some holes in it, and you're good to go. We talked about whips, starts, haul, and tools. I want to thank you again for joining me, for following me, for looking forward to seeing what my progress is. We'll see how it goes next time. Hopefully 2 weeks from now, you'll see me with much more progress and a little less ripping out, but it's time. Tonight, I'm gonna get my tool out and we're gonna be ready for the weekend for stitching. I wanna say thank you again, and I look forward to watching everyone else's updates. Thank you so much for motivating me and putting such kind words in the comments. I've enjoyed responding to each and every one of you, and I really am learning from the comments that you place. So enjoy your evening, your day, whatever